guys, it's Sam, and today we're talking about books that I wish I'd read sooner. This was a video topic that was voted on by my Bibliothecary supporters. So every month my Bibliothecary supporters vote in a poll for a video topic that I will do, and this is the one that won. When I made this topic, I was like, oh, there has to be like plenty of books. I know I've done a bunch of videos on books that I'm intimidated by and blah, 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 and I've put off. And I was like thinking about this list and I was like, I really cannot remember some books that I feel like I should have read sooner or whatever, because most of them I did read at the perfect time, but I do have a few. Anyway, if you want to contribute to my content in that way and vote for video topics and stuff that I will do, the link for the Bibliothecary is on the screen down below. So the book that immediately came to mind for this is a book that we don't always talk about anymore because the author is like kind of shitty. No, it's not probably who you think. We don't talk about it a lot anymore. I make a point to not because of just bad author behavior and whatever. My personal choice as somebody who's like a book influencer to not necessarily be talking about this book a ton due to repeated bad behavior by the author. It's not a cancellation of him, it's just respect for other people. Anyway. This is a series though that I do really love. Like as a thing separate from him, even though you can't fully separate it, I do really love this series. It still has a special place in my heart. And this is one that stuck out the most to me because people were bugging me to read this for years before I read it. Like I was getting annoyed, but they were also correct and I did love it. But yeah, it's one that I put off for almost like too long because I almost feel like now I didn't really even get to like revel and enjoy it before it was revealed how shitty he is. Tally, do you really have to shake right when I'm talking? So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, I just put this off for so long and honestly, why? Another one that I put off for a while was Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I've only read the original trilogy. I don't know if I'm gonna continue with the series. Like I'm not necessarily pulled to, and I would probably reread the original if I wanted to like continue. But anyway, this first book was like very, very hyped for a long time. And it just took me a while to read the series because I kept thinking it was gonna be like Hunger Games-esque, and I was just really over dystopian because people kept like saying it was almost like a Hunger Games in space and blah, blah. I get the comparison, but it's not a dystopian feeling book. It's more like utopian. Anyway, it doesn't really have that comparison, honestly, besides just being like fast paced in the first book's like sort of having a competition. So I put it off for all the wrong reasons and I like really enjoyed it when I read the series. Next is more a genre, the romance genre. I did not read the romance genre at all until 2019 and it's so nice, and like I have not read a lot of it this year because last year I was very slumpy with my romance reading. I was just reading a lot of like mediocre romance books last year, which was fine. It got me through 2021 in the slumpiness that it was. But good romance I really like, and I just feel like younger me would have appreciated it. I almost get a little bit, not like FOMO because I don't really want to be experiencing that now, but like the way that the book talk spicy romance girlies are like very into those like spicy romances that are like kind of poorly written but like fun. I feel like I could be really into that if I would have read romance sooner and like I could have had that fun little experience, you know? But I feel like I can't now. Not that I can't, not that you're ever too old for it. It is purely a me thing of like, I'm not really interested in that. I'm not really interested in like the dark romance and the super spicy books and whatever, but I feel like younger me would have been. And I wish that she could have had that opportunity. But just in general, I feel like I didn't give romance a chance for a very long time because I was very biased about it and just like honestly ignorant about the genre in general. And now some of my favorite books are romance books. So next is the David Bad trilogy, specifically City of Brass, and then the fact that like I waited for a few years after reading this book to even continue on with the series. But this was so good, and I've reread this first book and then finished the rest of the series this year, and it's so good. I mean, part of me again is like, well, last year wouldn't have been a good time to read it because you were so slumpy and blah, 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 so I probably did read it at the perfect time, but it is a series that like I wish as it was coming out I could have been reading it with people because I think that would have been a really fun experience for me. And lastly, this is mostly for my own sanity. I wish I would have read The Way of Kings sooner. This is still the only book in the Stormlight Archives that I have read. I know it's gonna be like a 10-book series, but I almost wish that I had been reading the books as they came out along with everybody. Not everybody, because I know there's a lot of people that are like reading it now and whatever, but like along with the like main fandom, because these are so large and intimidating. I've been wanting to read Words of Radiance for like almost 3 years now and I still haven't, so I sort of feel like I might need to go back and reread Way of Kings. I don't know. But I almost wish I was reading them as they came out, because now I have 4 books. We'll likely have 5 before like I catch up. and I just wish that I only had like the one, you know? Even if I would have had to have like reread the book before like the next one came out, right? He's writing them like fairly fast though, so I don't know if I would have had to have done that. But yeah, I just kind of wish I would have read that sooner for that reason, because now it's like this huge, like I have like 4,000 pages of this series to read, and it's just very intimidating. So those are all the books that I wish I would have read sooner. However, I still have like a little bit of a thing I want to discuss. When I was looking at my past videos for inspiration about this topic of books I'm the most intimidated by, I thought like, oh, there's gonna be books on there that like I eventually read. Nope. I read like 2 from those 2 videos. One was American Gods, and I think one was Way of Kings. But it's so funny because in those videos, the books that I was really intimidated by, typically speaking, besides those 2 that I did read, weren't fantasy books. They were all chunky literary fiction that I've either DNF'd or just completely given up on. Or there's one other one that I did read and just really didn't enjoy. So basically, if I'm super intimidated by a book, it's probably because it's not for me, with the exception of my like 1,000-page books. But like some of those were only like the 500 range, and I was really intimidated, and I read 500-page books all the time. So yeah, if I'm intimidated by like a chunky book, it's probably because it's lit fic, and I shouldn't be reading it because I'm not actually interested. That was just an observation that I made. Like right now, could I make 8 books I'm most intimidated by besides Stormlight? Not really, because I would, like all of them I would read, I just don't necessarily own, you know? So yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. But comment below and let me know which books you wish you'd read sooner. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.